This is question number 8 from your homework 10.2. In a survey, 31% of the respondents stated that they talk to their pets on telephone. Okay. A vet is believed this result is too high, so she randomly selected 220 pet owners to discover that 65 of them spoke to their pet on the telephone. Does this vet have the right to be skeptical? Use alpha to be 0.05. So let's write down all our information. They are saying 31%, the original guess, so 0.31, and the sample taken by the vet was size 220, and out of those X number with the characteristic was 65, and alpha is given to be 0.05. First, we have to verify the conditions in this question. So n times p naught times 1 minus p naught should be more than 10, right? So n is 220 times 0.31 times 1 minus 0.31. You guys have your calculator, calculate that. So we have it to be 47 point something. We need to just check that we are more than 10. So we have to write the value. They are saying 1 decimal place. So I'm going to write 47 0.1, and which is clearly more than 10. So the sample size, that was the first condition. The sample size is less than 5%, clearly, right? It's only 220. So we are assuming that there is a lot more people with the pets in the US. So it has to be less than 5% of the population size, and the sample is given to be random. So she did say that she selected randomly, so it's given to be random. So the requirements of the testing hypothesis are satisfied. Okay, so those were the requirements. Null hypothesis. What is the null hypothesis? Null hypothesis is always equal to the given population proportion size. What is alternate? What is she expecting? She is skeptical that this is way too high. That means she thinks that proportion is less than that number. So it has to be, that is what her testing is about. P is equal to 0.31 or versus P is less than, that is what we are testing on. That is your hypothesis. Now calculate the test statistic. You see, because all the requirements are completed, we can use the normal distribution, and the test used would be your for the proportion you need to use 1 prop z test. It's so stat, go to the test, 1 prop z test is at number 5. You enter all these values. The p naught is given to be 0.31, and the x values are given to be 65. N is given to be 220 is the sample size. Our alternate hypothesis is less than type, so we are going to highlight less than type, and then we are going to draw the calculate value. So you can write your test statistic here. Z naught is the test statistic notation in the question in the My Math lab. So we are getting it to be negative 0.466. They are asking us 2 decimal places. So we're gonna say this is negative 0.47, rounding off to the 2 digits. That is the statistic. P value is the P here in your calculator. It is 0.304. They're asking you to write in the 3 decimals. So you're going to write 0.320. That is 3 decimal places. Okay. So after we do all these values, we need to draw our curve, right? So the normal curve is to be used, and we are in the left tail because they are saying our null alternate hypothesis is less than type. We know that. And what is alpha given to be? Alpha is given to be 0.05 in this case. So this value, which divides your left tail from the other portion of the graph, is given by z alpha in the negative sign. How do you calculate z alpha? All this is on 5% left side. You need to use inv norm. Second inv norm is at number 3. Area to the left is 0.05, and that all is correct. It is left. As I said, my calculator uses the left. Enter negative 1.645. So we are saying this is negative 1.645. It has to be negative because it's on the left side of your graph, right? And our test statistic is coming to be where? That is negative 0.47. So I think test statistic is here. This is your test statistic. Yes, so test statistic is not in your rejection area. If you remember, this portion is called critical region or rejection region. So test statistic is not in the critical region or rejection region. That means we do not reject H naught. That is our analysis. Yes, so we do not reject H naught. That means we are gonna be, if we do not reject H naught, so we are gonna be rejecting H1. Yes, so that means the claim of the vet is wrong. So does the veteran have to be skeptical? No, the claim has to be wrong, right? So we have to find where she is not right. So A or B, let's read. The veterinarian does not have right to be skeptical. That means there is not sufficient evidence to conclude that 2% of pet owners who talk on the phone is 30. That was not her claim. It was not that it is 31%. It was less than 31%. So veterinarian does not have the right to be skeptical. There is not sufficient evidence to conclude that true proportion of pet owners who talk to their pets on telephone is less than 31%. So it has to be that, right? So we are saying her claim is not correct because we rejected H1. So that is your correct option. That was question number 8. I hope that helps.